What is going on, guys? So, what an emotional evening as a Cowboys fan. First thing I want to point out, I know nobody's here live right now with me, but wow, thoughts and prayers are just with Dak Prescott and his family right now. My heart goes out to the guy. It was kind of a gut wrenching moment. I posted on Twitter. I was there. The game, Mississippi State played South Carolina. I think it was the day after his mom passed away. Maybe it was the same day. I don't really remember. And I just remember the emotion in that game and just how everybody's heart went out for Dak that day. And the guy played with such passion and he played his heart out and he was a leader. And all the qualities we all know about Dak just jumped out that day. So that was one of the first things that came to thought. We know what he went through earlier this year with his brother, his older brother. I'm not going to talk too much about that. It's not really my place to. Again, my heart just goes out to the guy. I know this is a very tough moment in his career, but we know that Dak is a resilient guy, and he's going to bounce back from this one way or another. I did get a notification from like ESPN saying that he's going to have ankle surgery. It just said Sunday night, so I don't know if that means tonight, next Sunday. I don't know. So let's just all Cowboys Nation as a whole keep Dak in your thoughts and prayers. And I know after that it was kind of tough to watch the game because our hearts just weren't into it, right? And you could see that with the players out on the field, but I think the fans definitely felt the same way. And the players and coaches, maybe even on both sides, kind of felt that way. I do feel like I have to come in and talk about the game a little because the show does go on. And you see the kind of hard work and heart that Dak puts into it, the preparation. And so I feel like, it kind of would do him a disservice if I didn't continue to do my job, put out content. I'm not getting paid for it, but it's what I do. So it's my part. So I do want to give the team as a whole a shout out because they were absolutely flat after that injury. You could tell they were devastated. Who wouldn't be? But guys, they showed heart and they showed a little resiliency. And you could see it in Ezekiel Elliott. You could see the passion when he ran in for that first touchdown. And I thought the defense were a little more emotional than normal. I mean, you could tell they were putting in all their effort. And I'm not going to talk a lot about effort tonight. We'll review the game a little more moving forward. But I do want to give them a shout out because I know Jalen Smith was playing his heart out, man. It's one of the best games he's had in a long time. I don't know exactly what the tape is going to show on him, but I know that he was out there making plays. And we were getting to Daniel Jones at times. And, we struggled a little bit with that later in the game because I got to give Daniel Jones a shout out as well. I think he's a talented quarterback. And he shows a lot of what I saw in college from him in the NFL. He's big, strong, athletic, and he's pretty quick. He'll use his feet to create time to find guys open downfield, and he did a great job of that tonight. So I don't want to take anything away from Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. I think you got to give some credit to Andy Dalton for stepping up in the big moment because you could tell he was just kind of – the whole team was flat after they were heartbroken after Dak went down. So to see Andy Dalton kind of, I wouldn't say he really struggled for a couple drives, but he had the one fumble, which was probably, I'd have to look back at it, but probably half on him, half on the center for the bad snap, I would assume. But the guy made some throws, and Michael Gallup continues to make incredible catches week in, week out. I do want to talk a little bit about the football side to it. Very nice to see a win. As Cowboys fans, we know we're not a great football team right now. We know that. We know we're probably not a good football team. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. It's nice to see us be resilient and in the face of some real I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. But, this was the time when you really had to show some resiliency. You had something bad happen, right? Your main guy goes down. And it's all about how each person responds to that kind of pressure, to that kind of pain. And I thought we did a great job on that end. The defense made plays when it mattered. And this was a live stream where I was going to jump in and just talk about the game. And obviously Dak going down kind of changed that. So I don't know if I'm going to talk too much about the football side of it tonight. I'm going to have a video coming out where, and I'm going to do that after this live stream. It's going to be with my pops. And we're just going to do a live reaction. And I'll post that in the morning. And we'll probably get more to the football side of it then. But yeah, right now, guys, kind of speechless. It was tough. It was a tough game to watch, and I can understand that Cowboys Nation probably lacked interest after Dak went out in the game itself. I know I did, right? I feel like I'm doing my job just to watch the rest of the game so I can kind of know what goes on. The first quarter of the game, I barely saw. So they had the Chiefs game with the Raiders go on like 20 minutes past it was supposed to. That last 4 minutes of the game were like 30 minutes. Then they finally had the Cowboys game come on after a bunch of commercials and all that. And there was a tornado warning in my local area. I think everybody's okay. It was kind of hit out in the middle of nowhere, like an hour away. But yeah, prayers out to anybody that might have affected as well. But that took away my feed for like 30 minutes. And it eventually showed like in a small part of the screen the game, but then we got a little bit of commentary, but it was just from the field. They didn't even have like Romo and Nance on there. So I missed basically most of the first quarter. Wasn't too interested in what I did see. Not going to critique Dak today at all. The guy hardly makes any mistakes, but every quarterback in the NFL makes mistakes. And the one interception to Zeke, we all know that was a mistake. It happens. Like I said, now's not the time to critique the guy. Really hope Cowboys, as the organization, Jerry and Stephen Jones, just make sure the guy's taken care of for life. Hopefully we see him back on the field sooner than later. You know, I don't know if this is going to be 1 year, a 2 year thing, but anyways. Yeah, so we know the game started ugly, and we know the defense leaves a lot to be desired. We know the play calling is too cute at times, but I don't really know what to take away from the game other than we were resilient. We got the win, and the big takeaway is that we hope Dak heals up as soon as possible. And our hearts are heavy for the guy and his family. They've been through a lot this year. Cowboys X Factor just joined. Appreciate it, man. How's it going? Hope Dak Prescott will be all right. Absolutely, man. So I've been talking about him a lot the past 7 minutes. Just have a heavy heart for the guy. I've been kind of speechless about it. Just trying to say the right things because I just really feel for him. We know what his family went through this year with his brother and the loss of him. I was talking about it's been more than a few years now, but when he lost his mother, I was at the Carolina game. Just a very emotional performance from him. And that's kind of all we can take away from that, right? We just hope he'll be back soon, and we just want to see him healthy. At least they signed Andy Dalton, but yeah, they should have signed him to a long-term deal when Carson Wentz got his money. Yeah, so I am going to just mention this. Obviously, it's unfortunate all the way around right now. We really wish the deal would have gotten done by now. It sucks that it didn't. It's frustrating and it's disappointing for Dak. And you really just want to see the Cowboys organization take care of him at this point, get him back to where he needs to be, and pay the man. You have to eventually pay the man. He's earned it. He puts his heart and his whole life. He puts everything into the Dallas Cowboys organization in the game of football. So he's absolutely earned it. As far as Andy Dalton goes, you know, as of right now, he's our quarterback moving forward for the near future. And so, yeah, he's got my support until Dak is back. And I think he showed some heart tonight because people were pretty hard on him those first couple drives. We didn't really get anything going. I think Kellen Moore tried a little too much just to try and get the ball out quick, trying some screens that just don't work for us for whatever reason. But later in the game, when he needed to make some throws, he gave Michael Gallup a chance. I will get into a little bit of this aspect. Last year when you had Connor Rush, Cooper Rush, God, I already forgot the guy's name. And a couple of years ago with Cooper Rush, do you think he could have made some of those throws? No, I don't. I think we saw the upgrade almost immediately. So, give him some time to practice with the team. And I mean upgrade over backup quarterbacks of the past, not over Dak Prescott. I'm not far from a Dak hater. He made some good plays on that last drive as Michael Gallup made some great catches. Yeah, I completely agree. Michael Gallup's a stud, and it shows week in, week out. I don't think you can expect Andy Dalton to be Dak Prescott, but I can tell you, if you can get him some time, we have weapons. And Dak made it work, and Andy Dalton will probably make it work to some extent too. No, Cooper Rush could not have made those plays exactly. Yeah, I mean, it was the right move, and I think it showed. And we probably don't care too much about it right now because football isn't what's on our minds after the Dak injury. But it was probably the difference between a win and a loss tonight is just Andy Dalton and Cooper Rush. And so hopefully Andy goes out there and earns all $7 million that he can earn out of that contract and win some games with us. I think as Cowboys fans, we have to rally behind him, rally behind the defense, rally behind the team. I know we were calling for coaches to get fired left and right, Mike Nolan, but you got to give Mike Nolan a little credit too tonight. No, the defense wasn't good, and no, they weren't playing a good team, but they did step up when it counted. Demarcus Lawrence had his first big sack of the season, and it was none too late. Anthony Brown, back from injury, picks the ball up, takes it to the house. You saw his speed jumped out, and, man, he was really aware. He got right on that ball, and he was gone with it. He knew what to do with it. So, yeah, I was impressed with our ability to maintain and regain our composure after the Dak injury so that kind of tells you the kind of team you are. It might not be a good football team, but, they have a little heart. I'll give them that, and they did tonight anyways. Besides him getting hurt, they did have that great trick play, and there was the defensive turnovers. Yeah, there were a couple good things to take from this game, and Jalen Smith, in my opinion, played his best game this season, best game in maybe a couple of years. We'll have to go back and see if he was actually good, but, man, the guy was constantly quick to the ball. He was making plays. He was making tackles in the open field. So right now, what more can you expect from the guy? We did do a little bit better job of getting after the quarterback, and it forced a turnover in the one play. And like I said earlier in the video, I was giving Danny Dimes some credit because he was using his legs to extend plays, and he's good at that. At times, we were letting Devontae Freeman go out and do his thing. Like, we'll struggle with the run game on defense moving forward. There's no doubt about that. But we made some stops here and there, which was just enough. It was more than what we did last week. It was the bare minimum. I think moving forward, you're kind of at the point in the season where this defense is not going to be good. But can we be just not awful? Maybe. I'm not going to say I think we will be, but I think we can get to that level because we've seen what the pass rush can do. We got Randy Gregory coming back soon. Hopefully we get more out of him. Moving forward, Van Der Esch, Sean Lee, if these guys can come back, maybe linebacker isn't a horrible position for our team anymore. The secondary is going to be tough. Even when we get Chidobe Awuzie back, our defensive backs are going to be average. Our safeties are going to be not good. But I did notice Stephen Parker was on the field some tonight. He made a couple tackles. I don't know how involved he was. I don't know how good or bad he was. The tape will show that. I've been hating on Darian Thompson a lot this season, and I saw him make a couple decent tackles quick to the ball tonight. So I'm sure he got beat some too, but I'm gonna call it like I see it. And I thought he was decent. So it'll be interesting how we can build on this moving forward. It's a tough point right now during the season. We knew this wasn't going to be anything to brag about anyways, but then to have this Dak injury happens, kind of the feeling of being kicked while you're down. We'll move forward into next week later here in the next few days. We'll talk about the Arizona Cardinals game. Andy Dalton will have all week to prepare. Let's see what else X Factor said. We are going to miss out on Dak Prescott versus Kyler Murray. And yeah, it's so many other good matchups with him looking to be out for the year. But hopefully Andy Dalton can do the best with what he has to work with. Okay, so two things. One, yeah, I mean, it's heartbreaking because this is what Dak lives for from a football perspective. He loves the big moments. He loves going head-to-head with these guys, and I'd love to see him go head-to-head with Kyler, Ben Roethlisberger, Lamar Jackson. I was in Clemson when Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson went at it, and it was magic. And hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to see that with Dak and Lamar Jackson. Might not happen this year, but I'm sure it will years to come. What I'll say about Andy Dalton is, if you could ever put a guy like him in the best situation possible, Dallas would be it. No, we don't have the offensive line right now, but sometimes they're just good enough. When the team sends pressure, but like those big passes to Michael Gallup at the end, they were sending some pressure, and the offensive line held up just long enough. And also, it doesn't seem like Dalton's afraid to get rid of the ball quick or to move. He took a couple sacks when the pressure came immediately, but he looked like he was somewhat aware of his surroundings. So let's not forget that Andy Dalton, while we know he's not Dak Prescott, he is a competent quarterback that has started many years in the league. Yeah. So I thought he used his feet really well. He was never a bad athlete. He is 32 years old. So like we said, he's not Dak, but I'm looking forward to see what he can provide moving forward. It's very frustrating that this has to happen, but it's part of the game. What else I want to say? A couple positive notes. CD Lamb is a star. Love seeing him out on the field. Wish he was out on the field more. He's just a bright spot on any bad day as a Cowboys fan. He's just always doing good things. I think he had a couple drops, but I'm not even going to really talk about him because just making huge plays. Michael Gallup, always making huge plays. And Michael Gallup doesn't get thrown to 10, 20 times a game sometimes, but when he does, he's there and he makes the play. Amari Cooper, who was a no-show the entire game, man, when it mattered, he took a 5-yard pass that was an accident waiting to happen and broke a tackle, broke another tackle, took it like 15, 20 yards, thought he had a chance to take it to the house. So those receivers were just really impressive. I think we had some other injuries to discuss as well. Blake Bell went down at some point. I didn't see the play. I didn't see the injury. Not sure how he's doing. Hopefully he's all right as well. Tristan Hill, I don't think returned either. That was frustrating as well because, everybody's been on him about making dirty plays, and it looks like he kind of went out of his way not to have a questionably dirty play, and he paid for it. He got hurt, went down. So hopefully Tristan Hill will be returning soon. Wish him the best. Hate to see all these injuries. It sucks. And when it happens to your quarterback and any quarterback in the NFL, kind of like Romo was saying, it really resonates. It's tough to see. But guys, moving forward, we'll try and take some positive things out of this game. Obviously, the Dak injury was the most devastating one, most devastating thing that's happened this season, in my opinion, obviously. But we will grudge forward, and we got to do it for Dak, right? We got to do him justice. And maybe we're not a playoff team. Maybe we win the division. Maybe we don't. But let's play with a little heart, and I think that'll do him some justice. I can live with us being a bad team this year if we're putting in all the effort moving forward. So, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. Appreciate y'all watching. X Factor, I want to give you a big shout out for coming in and just sending some comments, giving me a little something else to discuss because I just kind of came in and winged it today. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Dak, how the team looked, and that kind of thing. And that's pretty much going to do it for today, guys. I'm out. Peace. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to click subscribe for more daily Dallas Cowboys content. I'm still going to do my job this week and talk more about it. So that's it. Peace.